that she
Hey everyone, is my sound better? Hopefully. Let me check while everybody makes their way over here. Hey everyone. Oh, it sounds good. Okay. I don't know why it does that. Let me change my thumbnail while we're waiting. We're still waiting for Judge Stephen Boyce to open up his YouTube channel. So just hang with me. I'm glad you guys can hear me. Welcome to J is for Justice. I'm happy to be back. I've been gone for a little bit. My father passed away, so I had to go travel to Michigan. So I'm back now. And I want to thank everyone for all of the messages and the comments that you guys left me. I really, really, really appreciate that. It really means a lot to know that people are thinking of you. It's tough. It's really tough. And I know from a lot of your comments that you guys have also been through losing a parent. And it's not any fun. It really isn't. It's like the day you dread, you know? But I don't want to be doom and gloom today. And I know my dad wouldn't want us to be doom and gloom. He made that clear. So we are going to continue waiting for Judge Boyce, but I wanted to thank you guys because it really does mean a lot. Thank you. And thank you to all the mods that are here. Thank you, all you members that are here. I see a lot of green. I see a lot of people here chatting. Thank you for being here and watching this hearing with us. Brunch Mom, thank you so much. Love you, Jay. Sorry about your loss. You are so sweet, Heather. Thank you. You've been through the ringer too, girl. Oh Lord, what a rough couple years, huh? Love you too, Shell. Thank you. So let me get my thumbnail changed because it has that shooter on there and I don't like that. I'm just not digging that at all. Oh, Melissa Y, thank you. Says you are amazing. You guys are sweet. Thank you, Nikki. Thank you, Joyce. April said my dad passed away last week too. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. And your husband in January. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, April. So sorry for those losses. That's a lot. I hope you're taking care of you. Baby D, thank you. Hit it, Baby D. Oh, Shell, thanks for being you. Thank you. You guys are the sweetest. Still standing. Yes, Jana Gibson says it's been rough, yet you're still standing. And we all do, right? Melissa said I lost my dad on Father's Day. How awful. I'm so sorry. It's just, you know, you get all these different emotions and it's like one part of you is, you know, relieved like my dad and my mom are together. And then there's another part of you that feels like you can't live without them, you know? Dream King says, April sunset. I lost my dad, then brother, then mom. I don't know how to move forward and find purpose. Any thoughts? Dream King, I'm so sorry. Maybe we can have an open chat on my other channel, on the 411 channel, and kind of just talk these things through. And, you know, have people call in and they can tell how they're dealing with it and how they're getting through it. Look at this, Sweet and Spice. My mom passed in November. You guys, there's been a lot of losses just in this chat. And I think that's good advice for Dream King too, one day at a time. But how far apart, Dream King, did those losses happen? Were they in sequence? Because that's a lot. Judge Boyce, you are late. And it must be Eileen's fault. let's make sure that East Idaho News isn't streaming. Nope. Okay, so we wait. I just wanted to make sure we weren't missing anything. Yeah, and I would like to invite where is he? He or she, Dark or Dream King, to join my podcast group on Facebook. And you can always reach out to someone if you need to talk. You can always reach out to me. You can message me on Facebook. Oh, Solanum, I'm sorry. So today, Katie 2, we are waiting for Chad Daybell for the status conference hearing today.
Live stream starting shortly.
So the last time we were here, they did the hearing, and Rob Wood asked for this new attorney to help him, to assist him. And she's from another state, and she was actually sitting there with him. I think they were all surprised. Like, he said, oh, well, she's sitting right here. Let's go ahead and ask her. Let's go ahead and get her to sign off on what she's supposed to sign off on. Jana, I'm so sorry. And that's what I said, Jana, when I got back to Florida. I was like, okay, now begins the new life. And what that looks like, I have no idea. It's like, what does a life without your dad look like? I guess you just go day by day and you figure it out as you go. I mean, what else can you do? It's heartbreaking. But yeah, if you guys want to subscribe to my other channel, we can set something up and we can have an open chat. Just something private, not something huge, something where, people who have suffered these losses can call in and talk it through. I feel you, Dream King. I feel you about the pillars and the family. Yes, my pillars have fallen too, because we lost my mom 2 years ago. And I mean, that was the huge change. That was the huge change. And then my dad just, had a broken heart, and it's tough to watch. Right, Melissa, good point. Very good point. Melissa says, we have all this loss and grieving, and these a-holes wipe out their families like it's nothing. Are we buffering for real? Maybe because I'm doing my thumbnail. Hold on. When I close this out, maybe it'll go back to good. Let's see. Save. Okay, let me know if we're still buffering. We should not be, but let me know. The podcast group on Facebook, HTTPS. I gotta type it out. Facebook.com/J is for Justice. That's the main page, and then you can get to the group from there. Dream King, he says, but you know what? I had some amazing family members. What a blessing. Some people are born without that and never get a fair start in life. That is so true. So true. And I have friends, excuse me, that have lost their parents when they were young, way before they should have lost their parents. I'm lucky to have had mine as long as I did. Vicky, I'm so sorry for your loss too. That is so sad. It's a new normal. It's a new normal in just living day by day. But I appreciate all of you guys. Now I'm wondering where Stephen Boyce is, because maybe he decided not to go live and put us on hold while they're in breakout rooms. We are waiting AB on Chad Daybell. Yes, Shell. That is also heartbreaking. Shell said, I'm raising 2 kids that lost their mom at ages 1 and 7. They will never know their mom. They'll never know their mom. They know, luckily, they will know their mom, though, through you, Shell. Yeah, Dark, that, or Dream. Why do I keep calling you Dark? Dream, that is easier said than done. However, it's a good goal to work towards, you know, in order to do that, to be a pillar for someone else. And I think it's just something that takes time. But I think that's a good goal, is to turn around and help someone out who's less fortunate than you, you know, like you said. Is he always late? I hadn't noticed that he was usually late. I just noticed we went live and then we got shoved out because the boys went in a breakout room. I lost my dad, Nancy. I lost my dad when I was 16. Time does help, but I do miss him. The year before, I had lost my best friend to cystic fibrosis. The first 2 years of high school were tough. I bet. What were you just writing? Secret weapon. Shell is amazing. Shell is such a good person with a good heart. I am blessed to call her my friend. So I hadn't noticed that Steven's usually late. Something went wrong. What's going on? Oh, a goal. Yeah, it is a good goal to kind of see in the future. Like, of course you can't do that overnight. You know, you can't become someone's pillar overnight, but you can look at that as a goal, and you can you know, make that something that can happen. Absolutely. Okay, here we go. I think we are live. All right, guys, I'm going to shut up now. I'm going to turn off my mic and I'm going to let you guys watch this hearing. Thanks for being here. You know what? I take that back. We're in a damn breakout room. Breakout session. Look at this. He put us right in the breakout room. Or whatever. They went right in the breakout room. Oh, Pryor and all those guys in their Zoom together. BFFs till the end. Thank you. You do, Dream King? Thanks. Well, I think that, you know, that would be a good thing to do. And I'm going to think about that and think of a way that we can set that up, cuz you know, we do true crime here on J is for Justice, but I do have another channel that I want to do other things on, and if that can help all of us as a community, I would love to do that.
Judge, we went live, just so you know.
Put a 1 in chat if you would join in on the other channel. Oh, here we go. Oh, hi guys.
Did you hear me say that we went live, Judge?
We'll call the cases then. This is the time set for a status conference. This is Fremont County case CR 222755, State versus Chad Guy Daybell, and Fremont County case CR 2220838, State versus Lori Vallow Daybell. This is the time set for a hearing on a status conference. Representing the state in this case are prosecutors Rob Wood and Rachel Smith. On behalf of the Defendant Mr. Daybell, Mr. Pryor is appearing, and Mr. Means is appearing on behalf of Mrs. Vallow Daybell. So counsel, we do have a trial scheduled in this matter, July 12th through the 30th. Our pretrial conference is June 2nd, so not too far down the road. We did set a status conference back in March to discuss, I think, council's preparedness and thoughts on our existing trial setting. So that'll be the first issue I'll raise, and then I'll let council bring up any other issues they think we need to discuss today. But Mr. Wood, what are your thoughts on our current trial setting in July, which is set for the 12th through the 30th?
Your Honor, the state can do that. I know that at our last hearing, I believe Mr. Pryor said he may be asking for a continuance. Like I said, we can be ready to go, but if council wishes for a continuance, we're not opposed to that either.
All right, Mr. Pryor, why don't we go to you next on behalf of your client, Mr. Daybell?
Judge, I think there are a couple of matters that are going to need to be heard prior to that time. A venue motion, obviously. I anticipate, I don't think it's a surprise to anyone that a severance motion will probably be coming down the line as well. In addition, and I'm not going to address this in detail today, but having gone through all of the discovery that I've been provided at this point, I still have about 30 items on my list that I need to discuss with Mr. Wood and Ms. Smith in terms of items that I'm going to need them to provide me. I don't know how long that's going to take or what that process is going to involve. So my position is simply that I'm going to clearly need more time, and I think now would be the time to set this out. And I anticipate at least 90 days beyond the current setting date, Judge, is what I would need as a minimum.
You're saying 90 days additional past the trial date for you to be prepared for trial?
Beyond the August the end of August, actually, Judge, is what I'm anticipating. I'm looking at October and November, Judge, is what I'm thinking, just because the amount of discovery that I'm looking at is significant, and I'm going to need those items before I'm going to be able to be effectively prepared for this.
Okay, so just to be clear then, you're making a motion to continue the trial?
I am, Judge.
All right, Mr. Means, where are you in terms of preparedness for trial with your client at this point?
I think it would have to be vacated and reset, Your Honor. I have no objection to the timeline that Mr. Pryor presented or stated to the court. I think that's probably at a minimum as far as the timeout.
All right, I'll go back to you then, Mr. Wood. There's formally now two motions to vacate and continue the July trial setting. Does the state have any objection to the continuance requests?
No objection.
Well, I'll give you the option then. Do you want to look at a scheduling conference at a future date or start looking at calendars now? My trial calendar, as I've advised, is packed through the fall because we're just now starting jury trials again. Finally, we are starting. I've got one happening this week. So there's a lot to get through also, though, and some may well take priority over this case in terms of their age or how long somebody's been incarcerated. So we have to look at that. Might take some timing if we're still looking at a 3 to 4 week trial. So I'm somewhat inclined to set a scheduling conference instead of trying to work that into my calendar today. The other thing I guess I'll bring up is on these motions then, if we are still going to hear the motion to change venue and potentially a motion to sever, that's a hearing I think we should get on the calendar and schedule today. And perhaps we could bring up the trial setting at the conclusion of hearing those motions on that same day. So, Mr. Wood, your thoughts on proceeding in that manner?
That's fine with the state.
All right, Mr. Pryor, Mr. Means, is it okay if we set a hearing then today on the venue motion and any other motions? We'll just set a day and then use time at the end of those hearings for a new trial setting.
Judge, I think it'd be important if we do the changing of the trial date as in the form of a status conference. I don't know that necessarily needs to be disseminated to the public, but as far as the venue motion, I'm comfortable with that. And then as far as scheduling the time for the hearing, again, we're going to be balancing now 4 lawyer schedules as well as a judge. And I think at this point, that may be something that could be handled informally.
Okay. And that might be the easiest way to approach it, quite frankly, also, other than us sitting all and thumbing through our calendars, trying to get a time set out this fall, including my schedule is pretty difficult going forward. So we'll get a date. We'll take a look at that. If I want to just contact counsel about scheduling, we'll do that. But let's go ahead. I will then order, based on the motion, I'll grant the motion to vacate and continue the currently scheduled July trial. And let's look at a time then to schedule.
Judge, may I make a suggestion?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Pryor.
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, we had an informal pretrial set for the 2nd of June. That would seem to be a logical choice, since all of us had to be available at that time as well. So if I would propose a date, I would suggest the 2nd of June as a potential date, if that's acceptable to Mr. Means and Mr. Wood, and if that accommodates Ms. Smith's schedule, Ms. Smith's schedule as well.
Yeah, that's the date I was considering as well, because we did have the hearing set.
That would work for me. Let me just check. That works.
I can do June 2nd.
I can as well, Your Honor.
All right. I've got to clarify one thing first. Give me a moment. All right, actually, I'm not going to be able to use that date, counsel. I've got a civil matter for a case that's probably the oldest case on my docket that I promised counsel. It's a bench trial that I'd give them that date for part of their trial. So where I intended this to just be the pretrial conference, we were going to fit this in, but knowing that this will be a probably multi-hour long hearing, I'm going to have to find another date. So June 2nd is not going to work.
What about the week before that, 27th and 28th of May?
I'm not available that week, Judge. I'm sorry.
The following week, let me look. The next week, June 9th, would
That
work.
works for my schedule, Judge.
June 9th would work for my schedule as well, Your Honor.
That works for me.
That works. I can work that out.
Okay, thanks for accommodating that. So we'll schedule the motion for change of trial venue for Wednesday, June 9th at 9:00 a.m. If you've got other motions you want to hear that day also, I'll make it a point to just essentially block the day out to allow for additional hearings. And then we'll also need to get the matter back on the trial calendar either on that time or before then if we figure out new dates for trial. I did fail to note as we started the hearing, we don't have a court reporter available today. I advised counsel of that. So we are recording this live on YouTube for public access. We're also recording it on the FDR system through Fremont County as well as the Zoom software. So I know we've already gone through these issues, but Mr. Wood, do you have any issue with us holding this hearing and having done it today without the court reporter?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thanks, Mr. Means. Any objection to us proceeding as we have today?
No, Your Honor.
And Mr. Pryor, are you okay with us going forward or having had this hearing today without the court reporter?
There is no objection, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Apologies for not calling that up at the beginning of the case. So we'll get that June 9th set then. I don't think there are any other pending motions or anything scheduled right now for us to consider. So, Mr. Wood,
Your Honor, I do have my two motions to exclude, but we could certainly hear those that morning.
okay, I'm fine to have those heard that morning also.
Okay.
Objection to scheduling those that time, Mr. Means or Mr. Pryor?
Judge, I think that's fine. I think I already indicated to all of council about the name request of the change that I'm asking everybody to use on the one witness. And then I don't know if we've resolved the issue of Mr. Woods allowing his witness to appear by way of Zoom. And I would also make the same request because I anticipate that Mr. Means disclosed an expert witness and I intend to call them and would ask the same, that my expert witness with his formal survey be allowed to appear by Zoom. But I can't recall, Mr. Wood, if that was resolved or not.
I think both, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Means, we had both indicated we would stipulate to that.
So all witnesses can appear by Zoom. I think the court had some hesitancy though.
If there's a stipulation, I'm fine with the appearance of the witnesses by Zoom. If there's an objection, then I think we probably would need to set another hearing prior to the June 9th hearing to make a determination how those witnesses would appear.
And I assume Mr. Means is, we're all going to need to sign that stipulation. Is that correct, Judge?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I don't have anything further, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay, thanks for pointing those matters out. All right, if there's nothing else for this afternoon, then we'll be in recess. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
You all.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. It looks like we're coming back on June the 9th for the next hearing in this case. And I have another hearing that I'm going to play for you guys. It's the Jennifer Emmy case out of Colorado. She was actually accused of hiring a hitman to kill her husband. Or I'm sorry, to kill her husband's girlfriend, his new girlfriend, her ex-husband's new girlfriend. I screwed that whole thing up. Her ex-husband's new girlfriend, she supposedly, allegedly hired someone to kill her. So I recorded that because it was the same time as Daybell. So if you guys give me a minute, I'm going to probably stream that within the next hour or so you guys can see that. But interesting case out of Jefferson County, Colorado, which is just outside of Denver. So we will be back with Chad, not until June, which seems like way far off. That's summertime. So looks like trial might be pushed to October now. So be looking for that video for Jennifer Emmy out of Colorado to come out very soon. And thank you guys for being here, and I will see you in just a little bit.